What's going on, folks, and welcome into the Sports Tree studio. I'm Connor Roundtree, and we're here for Third and Long. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back to break down the 2023 Conference Championships in the NFC. It's the San Francisco 49ers visiting the Philadelphia Eagles, and then in the AFC, it's the Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Chiefs yet again. Folks, before we get into these breakdowns, previews, our best bets, and our picks, we have to just let you know this is our second last episode of this season, meaning this is your last chance to get in to win our tickets on our trivia raffle. What do we mean by that? Well, we're going to ask you a trivia question at the end of this show today. You go on to sportstree.ca, sign up, log in, answer the question, and you're in to win a pair of NFL tickets or CFL tickets to see any team you would like to see play next season. Yes, we extend it to the CFL because we don't know. Maybe you're living out in Saskatchewan. Maybe you're a diehard CFL fan. We want everyone to enjoy this platform because this platform is for everyone. Now let's jump into breaking down these games. We're going to do them in chronological order because that only makes sense, despite the injury to Patrick Mahomes and that elephant in the room. Anyway, San Francisco visiting the Philadelphia Eagles, and folks, the NFC Championship is going to be fought and won in the trenches. Two extremely dominant defenses. This year, the San Francisco 49ers led the NFL in yards given up per game and points per game. They averaged just 16.3 points against per game. Boom. The Philadelphia Eagles, on the other hand, well, they gave up just 301 yards per game, the second best mark in the NFL. So you have the 2-1-2 defenses going up, and then the Eagles, they also led the NFL in sacks this season and finished just two shy of the Chicago Bears' 1985 defense, the defensive record for most sacks in a single season. Yes, they had an extra couple games to do it. However, whenever your name is in the same conversation as the Bears' 85 defense, you're doing something right. The Eagles, well, they looked like the Bears' 85 defense last week. They absolutely beat the brakes off the Giants, allowing just 7 points. And then the 49ers, well, they won a close one, a much tighter fought game against Dallas. And they did exactly what we predicted, right? Dak Prescott threw the interceptions like Dak does, and San Francisco converted those interceptions like San Francisco does. Now, looking at this one, this is going to be a tough game. As I said, it's going to be fought and won in the trenches, and why I say that is because San Francisco has a clear path to victory that I think a lot of people are overlooking. Philadelphia this season gave up 4.6 yards per carry. That's ninth worst in the NFL. You're now taking on Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brock Purdy can keep it and go, and then Elijah Mitchell behind Christian McCaffrey. You're going to get pulverized. Now, I was on with Jim Coventry from the NFL Network on Monkey Knife Fight earlier this week, and he brought to my attention that, well, over the last 3 games, they're giving up 4.1 yards per carry. Okay, that was to the Giants. You're now about to take on the San Francisco 49ers. In fact, I keep going back to this because this is so important. I'm going to pull up the stats right now. The Philadelphia Eagles had the easiest schedule in the NFL this season. Based off last year's wins-loss records, the Philadelphia Eagles had a cakewalk of a year. The other teams that had it easy? The NFC East. Look at that. Look at those stats, folks. That's why 3 NFC East teams made it. And on the other side, San Francisco, they had to play the gauntlet on the West Coast. Pete Carroll developed Geno Smith. When they played the Rams twice before October 31st, when the Rams were the defending Super Bowl champions, had the hype, and still had Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford, mind you. They were a 500 team when they took on the Niners. So don't give me that the Eagles are this be-all and end-all football team that's going to beat the brakes off the Niners. I don't buy it. Brock Purdy, he is 7-0. He is now 7-0 as a starting quarterback with that win over the Dallas Cowboys last week. The kid's got the juice. Now he gets to go in an away field, a game where he has a clear path to victory by running the ball and handing it off to his playmakers. This is going to be a smash-mouth football game, ladies and gentlemen. And, well, I do lean and I favor the 49ers. They have the plus money. You can get the money line right now on Friday at right around plus 125. I've seen up to plus 135 on some sports books. So do your line shopping as always. But where I'm putting my money, under 46.5 at even money. I think these two defenses are going to smack each other in the mouth. I know Philadelphia loves to run the football, and they're darn good at it. Second best rushing attack in the NFL this season. 49ers give up just 3.4 yards per carry. They have the best rush defense in the NFL. So you're going to force Jalen Hurts to throw. And Jalen Hurts can throw. I'm not one of those guys that was very low on Jalen Hurts. I actually think he got a bad rep in college. However, Fred Warner is not your everyday middle linebacker. You basically have a safety playing middle linebacker. This San Francisco team is going to take away time and space. They're going to get in your face. Bosa led the league in sacks this season. I think they're going to get after Hurts, and I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. In San Francisco, they're going to win it. They're going to edge it out due to the play of Christian McCaffrey, due to the play of their playmakers. And Brock Purdy, he's going to look the part. Take the Niners, take the under. Let's move on. Now, flipping over to the American Football Conference, we have a rematch. Let's run it back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Cincinnati Bengals visiting the Kansas City Chiefs yet again. Joe Burrow, now 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes through his career. In fact, his Bengals teammates have so much confidence in him, they have renamed Arrowhead Stadium Burrowhead Stadium within the Cincinnati organization. When you have that much swagger going for you, odds are things are going to go well. Recent history aside, Patrick Mahomes is now dealing with a high ankle sprain. Yes, he was able to come in last week and finish the game, get the job done. However, Cincinnati has so many moving parts on their defense. They are a much better defense than the Jacksonville Jaguars. They'll blitz at you anytime, anywhere. From anywhere on the field, they'll send a safety blitz, they'll send a corner blitz. And Patrick Mahomes with immobility is not the same quarterback. What makes Mahomes great is shifting the pocket, moving away from those blitzes, getting outside the pocket, extending the play, flipping the ball underhand, throwing just a flick pass over the top to an open Travis Kelce, a jump pass, if you will. We saw him hobbling to hand the ball off last week. And if he tries to hand the ball off this week to alleviate some of that pass rush, the Bengals, they held the Bills last week to just 3.9 yards per carry. And that was actually right on par with their season average, which is good enough for 5th best in the NFL. The run lanes aren't going to be there for Isaiah Pacheco. This is going to be a very tough game for Patrick Mahomes, where he's going to have to play the role of Joe Burrow, release the ball quickly. Yes, the Kansas City Chiefs had the second most sacks in the NFL this season. However, Burrow will mitigate that risk by releasing the ball quickly. If the ball's out of his hands in under 2 seconds, the pass rush isn't going to get there. Plain and simple. Ask Buffalo. This is going to be another game where Joe Burrow goes out and displays why he is Joe Burrow. Get the ball out to T. Higgins. Get the ball out to Tyler Boyd. Get the ball out to Hayden Hurst, and then look for your guy Jamar Chase in the end zone and the red zone. Jamar Chase is his big-time receiver. 3 consecutive games with a touchdown. Look for Jamar Chase to hit pay dirt yet again. I think Burrow, quite simply, it's not what I think, it's what I know. Statistically, like, the stats prove it. He gets an easier matchup this week than he had last week against Buffalo. It was snowing, and Buffalo has the better defense. In fact, Kansas City gave up 33 passing touchdowns this season. That's good enough for worst in the NFL. Joe Burrow is going to have a field day. Kansas City just doesn't have the depth to cover all those weapons at wide receiver, to cover those weapons at tight end, and then at running back, well, it's gonna be another great day for Joe Mixon. He rushed for over 100 yards last week. Now his line is just at 60.5 yards. I like the Bengals to get a lead in this one and lean on Joe Mixon to try to mitigate the risk on Burrow, limit that Kansas City pass rush. So look for Mixon to get his in this one. But what it comes down to it is Joe Burrow is going to do exactly what he did last week. Avoid the sacks. He was sacked just once last week on 3 QB hits. He's going to get the ball out of his hands quickly. He's going to go into Arrowhead, and he's going to win this football game. I like the Bengals to win this game. I took them to win the Super Bowl at an 8-1 ticket entering the postseason. And we talked about it on this show. They were my pick to win the Super Bowl. They've taken out Buffalo. It's now time to take care of business, time to take care of Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs and book their ticket to yet another Super Bowl. Consecutive Super Bowl appearances for Joe Burrow. In recap, we have the under in the 49ers game. We have the 49ers to win that game and book their ticket out of the NFC. The AFC, we like the Bengals. We like them on the money line. We like them with a point if you can get it at even money. Joe Mixon over 60.5 rushing yards. Jamar Chase, anytime touchdown. Those are your best bets heading into this action this weekend. Make sure you sign up for sportstree.ca, and we'll update all of our best bets on there. If I find any other lines, any other prop bets that our team finds, we will post them on sportstree.ca. Now that all the breakdowns are done, all the hard work is done, let's have a little bit of fun. It's time for your trivia question. The last trivia question, the last entry that you could get to win a pair of NFL or CFL tickets to see any team that you would like to see play next season. Here is your last question for this season of Third and Long. We will be announcing the winners in our Super Bowl preview show in 2 weeks in Arizona. How many yards did Joe Burrow throw for in last year's AFC Championship game to book the Bengals ticket to the Super Bowl? There's your question, folks. All you have to do is go on and Google it, answer it, go on to sportstree.ca, submit your answer. You're in to win. You want to upgrade your chances of winning? Upgrade your subscription, and you will get more entries in to each of the trivia raffles that we have going on Sports Tree. Folks, I'm Connor Roundtree. Enjoy the football.